That's awesome. All right, cool. So today we're going to be talking about increasing your confidence in the job search. We're going to talk about discovering tricks to overcome imposter syndrome, own your career background, and align your job search strategies for success. So I'm Lisa Plain, and I want to thank you so much for being here this afternoon, and also for TorontoJobs.ca for inviting me to do this session. I'm really excited about it. I'm a career discovery expert and the founder of Career Balance Coaching, Golden Path Learning, and a co-host of Career Builders podcast. Prior to becoming a coach, I actually worked as a CPA in accounting for 10 years and went through a pretty major career transition myself to become a certified professional coach. Prior to my coaching, since I started working when I was about 15 years old, I've held over 20 jobs and I've attended over 100 interviews. Now I've worked with hundreds of career changers to find work that really fulfills them and that they're excited about and is close to their dream job. My mission is to increase work satisfaction. So when I was working in the corporate world, I found that there was so much unhappiness and I felt that there had to be a better way. So that's really why I do what I do and why I'm so excited to share this session with you. So to get into this, we're going to be talking about what confidence is. We're going to be talking about some things that can kill your confidence, as well as how to build confidence. So first of all, why does confidence matter in the job search? Number one, you need to put yourself out there in order for people to know that you're looking for a job, and this takes confidence. In addition to that, networking is one of the best activities that you can do, and forging new connections can allow you to tap into that hidden job market. And again, you need confidence to be able to go and talk about what it is that you want, which leads us to the next point, which is really selling yourself or showing your value. Talking about how you serve a company and how you're going to allow them to solve problems. Obviously, the next one, interviewing well, that's a given. You need confidence to go out and talk about your past experiences, but it's also really important for your mindset. So when you're feeling confident, you're more resilient. You're okay dealing with some ups and downs that come along with the job search. And finally, it really helps to increase the amount of effort that you're putting out. So if you're feeling really confident, you're going to put more effort and be able to get that job even faster and, introduce yourself to new people and all these things that we talked about. So what is confidence? Confidence really is the combination of alignment and authenticity. Alignment and authenticity are kind of coachy words. So to dig into what those mean, alignment is knowing what you want and why you want it, and then taking action with those in mind, keeping that as your compass. Authenticity, on the other hand, is a belief in yourself and a consistency in the way that you share your message. So let's talk a little bit now about what can kill your confidence. Imposter syndrome is a big one. It's that nagging feeling that you're a fraud, that somebody's going to find out that you're not actually as good as it says on your resume. And when you feel this and you feel less confident in yourself, you're actually counting yourself out. So maybe there's a job that you would love to apply for, but you don't apply because you're not exactly sure that you would even get it. So you're taking yourself out of the equation before you even know if that's true. The next is lack of clarity. So aimlessly applying with no strategy. And this can often lead to more rejections. So they call it the spray and pray method. And basically, you're not really sure what kind of jobs you want, but you're hoping that you get one. Next, we're going to talk about misalignment. So applying to roles that don't suit you. So if alignment is knowing your what and your why, misalignment is applying to roles that are not aligned with that what and the why, which again, often leads to more rejections. I'll give you an example of this a little bit later on, but just keep that in mind. And then the final thing is lack of preparation. So sometimes when we're not feeling confident, we self-sabotage by not preparing for interviews or conversations that we're having with people, and you're not giving yourself a fighting chance. So you go into the conversation already feeling less confident because you haven't prepared. And again, this can lead to more rejections. So how to build confidence? The number one thing you want to do is get clear on what you want and why. Second thing is really owning your story and your background. And then finally, aligning your job search strategies for success. So how do we do this? First of all, get really clear on what you want and why. And you want to start with the why. This is really your purpose and everything that's going to guide you forward. It's, again, that compass. So the why includes your values, your motivations, your interests, your skills, your preferences, and your personality traits. I'll give you some examples from my own life. So my values are around connection and adventure. What motivates me is helping people. My interests include all sorts of things, but personal development and growth and self-help are definitely one of them. Skills are pretty straightforward. So this is things that you gain in your past work experiences, but also skills that you can gain in your personal life. And then preferences are things that you enjoy. So for example, it could be that you like working in an office where people are really social. And then finally, your personality traits. So I myself am an introvert, and that's important to take into account as I'm looking for jobs. The next part is the what. So now that you have your why, you have your purpose, you want to know what kind of roles, what kind of companies, and what kind of industries that you're going to be applying for. So this step is really critical and basically the foundation to any job search that you're going to be going forward into. So now I have a little bit of an exercise for you. So if you have a paper and a pen, you can jot along as we're going, or you can come back to this exercise after and it's pretty straightforward. The exercise is designed to help you understand your value and also to help you with imposter syndrome. So getting clear on your what and why can also help you with imposter syndrome, but going back and really understanding your story and what makes you unique, I find to be incredibly helpful. So the first part of the exercise is to think of 3 specific experiences that shaped who you are today. Some examples of this could be, for me, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I also played the piano for 10 years. And I worked in a winery for 4 years while I was in school. So once you come up with those 3 specific experiences that set you apart, because no 2 people have the same set of experiences, then you want to consider how these experiences shaped you. So for me, again, growing up in an entrepreneurial family, that made me open-minded. It made sure that I was always innovating. And it gave me an entrepreneurial mindset, which means that I take ownership over my work. Playing the piano for 10 years really gave me discipline and perseverance. So when I was learning a difficult song, it often took many, many weeks of practice to be able to really do well at it. And there was also a creative component of playing the piano. And then finally, I worked in a winery. So this allowed me to be extremely personable, to be able to talk to anybody from anywhere in the world, and also to think outside of the box. Megan, I can't enlarge the slide, but I understand that you can click the presentation to make the screen bigger. Hopefully that helps. And if not, send me a message on LinkedIn later and I can send this over to you as well. All right, so the second part of the exercise is now that you have your 3 experiences and how they've shaped you, you want to now pick 2 or 3 words or themes that you believe set you apart. So through my examples, I would choose open-minded, creative, and personable. And all 3 of these traits really impact the way that I coach and the way that I run my business. So I use these in my LinkedIn, I use these in conversations with people, and you can do the same thing in your elevator pitch. You can use these to create your resume, to create your cover letter, to create the LinkedIn profile, and also when you're going through your interview answers. The cool part about this exercise too is that it allows you to really believe your story. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat over here. Thanks for your help, everyone. So this exercise makes you really believe your story. And then as you go, like I said, with imposter syndrome, it shows you how many interesting and wonderful experiences you've had that can really help you in your future. So next, you want to align your job search strategies. So number one, you want to target companies and roles that you want. So going back to the what, now that you have an idea of exactly what's going to make you happy or that you're interested in, you're going to target those companies. So make a list of anywhere from 10 to 50 companies that you're interested in, and you can connect with people from those companies or follow along or try to find what jobs they're offering. The next thing is find some fun. Job search, it can be really tough, but if you find some fun in it, you could choose some networking activities that you can enjoy. So as an example, I really like going to talks. So when I was looking for a job previously, you wouldn't necessarily think of this as a job searching activity, but I went to a talk at a museum and I ended up connecting with a couple of people who were also interested in the topic that they were talking about. And we connected on LinkedIn and we've grown a relationship from there. So it doesn't just have to be the run-of-the-mill job searching activities. Align it to what you enjoy and you're more likely to get out there and actually do the things that you need to do to get that job. So going along with that is networking, and network often. People make the world go round. And we were talking a little bit before about this hidden job market. So go out and meet people in any way that you feel is necessary. And it doesn't just have to be in events like this, although this is a really great way of finding people who are in a similar place as you. You can also just talk to friends and family. You can go on LinkedIn and you can find people that interest you. Whatever it is that works for you, make sure that you're aligning it with something that you enjoy. This next one's really fun. Create an alter ego. And this is something that was made famous by Beyonce. When she goes on stage, she has an alter ego called Sasha Fierce. And basically what that does is it's a little bit like acting, but you create the most confident version of yourself and embody that for that performance, for that interview, for that networking activity, whatever it is, go back to that and imagine yourself as this alter ego. Then it's practice. Practice and action really builds confidence. And the more often that you do it, the more confident you'll become. So send out applications, network with people as much as possible, and you'll find that over time, your confidence really grows. The next one is reflect. You really want to reflect and understand what's worked and what hasn't. This will help you to understand if you're still in alignment or if you've kind of gotten off the beaten path and are just doing things for the sake of doing them. And then finally, embrace rejection. You're not going to be for everyone. Your unique experiences are going to shape you specifically for a role, and there's going to be a company out there that's really going to love all of the experiences and personality traits and values that make you you. Now I have a quick story. So I have a client and we're going to call him Mark for privacy purposes. He was a teacher and he was switching into sales and he was looking for an entry-level position. When he came to me, he'd been looking for a job for 3 months with many interviews, but he hadn't gotten any offers and he couldn't figure out why. So the work that we did together was really digging into his why and his what. And through those exercises, we discovered that he loved building relationships. And so he was applying for the wrong jobs. He was applying for jobs that were cold calling, where it was a short sales cycle. So he was reaching out to as many people as possible. There was no relationship building in it, and he didn't really feel aligned with the actual job. Once he discovered this, he completely changed his job search tactics. He targeted his job search to companies that had longer sales cycles, products that were a little bit more expensive, where he was building relationships with people. And once we did this, within 3 weeks, he landed a job. And so what made him able to do this is that he was better able to communicate why he wanted the job. He also had more passion and conviction when he was talking to people in the interview because he really believed it. So this is just an example of how doing this kind of work can really make a difference in your job search. The last thing I want to leave you with is remember that your unique experiences make you valuable. Nobody else in the world has the exact same experiences, personality traits, values, skills that you have. So believe in yourself, know that you're valuable, and it really will make a difference on your job search. So now I want to leave the floor open for any questions, and my LinkedIn and my Instagram information is at the bottom of this slide. I'll also pop it into the chat in case you aren't able to see it.